It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy there, Sean Belesian. Sean, I'm still here in Hawaii for Oakland basketball. Big win for them last night. Sean Belesian is in our compound in Birmingham. But we have young Justin on the ones and twos today, I heard.
Yes, sir. I'm right here. Don't worry, Neil. Hey, and I know you're going to love this hoodie. QB1, Bryce Underwood. Let's go.
Was that the Jaden Rashada edition? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Sean, that's enough. I'm not going to do that, I promise. What's up, Sean?
How you doing, buddy? Nice win yesterday by the Grizz. Way to go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Nice win by the Detroit Lions also, 34-17. And, Sean, I have to start this off with an apology to you because I didn't believe. I didn't believe in the words that a wise man was trying to speak on the Woodward Sports pregame show yesterday. I didn't believe. I didn't believe it when he told me that this could be a no-pants Sunday. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe when I was told that the Bears have quit. I didn't believe, Sean, and I'm sorry for that.
That's all right. No, don't worry about. My pants were off at about 3, so it was, the room cleared out. But I didn't care. I didn't have any pants on. You know what that was, though, Neil? All jokes aside, it was Jared.
It was a demolition.
Yeah, demolition. And it was Jared Goff's relax moment. It really was. It was. Remember when we sat afar? And gosh damn that Aaron Rodgers, because he told everybody to relax, and then they went out and did exactly what he said they were going to do. Well, that's what Jared Goff was telling everybody this week. Calm down. Everything's cool, right? And I think we all took a big sigh of relief. And most importantly, our Viking fans, who I know you guys are infatuated with us right now, like stop living a lie. At least give us that. You're watching right now, so yes, I'm talking to you. I know you're watching right now. We're still running the yard. Like, until further notice, the Lions are still running the yard. You're still looking up. You still have to worry about beating Green Bay, and you still have to worry about coming in here. We're allowed this luxury in the media, Neil, as you well know, to look ahead. And yeah, how can you not look ahead, especially after watching Frisco look so crappy? But yesterday, they did what you're supposed to do to crap teams that are in mail-in mode. And one of the funny things, I don't know if you saw it in the postgame, how quickly that Bears locker room cleared out. Guys, I've seen it so many times in my life, just a few miles down the road. Okay, it's just before Christmas. Do you know where their heads are at? What are we doing for Christmas? And how quickly can I bring my moving boxes in here to get all my shit out of this locker room because this season's over? I've lived it. I've seen it. That was the Chicago Bears yesterday.
And that was it. And I should have listened to you, Sean. I should have listened. You laid the groundwork on the pregame show yesterday. But a shout out to everyone that's in the Woodward Sports chat thread as well. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in there. Get your thoughts in there. As KG would say, get your shit off in there as well. And, again, Brandon Garland jumps in with the big what up, Doe. Ryan, finally, the midday show. It's midday for you guys. 6 a.m. out here. But, hey, when you walk outside, it's 83 degrees all the time. So I'm locked and loaded, man. I'm ready to rock. Mike G, no Black Santa in studio this season. We are angling to have the Black Santa recap show. Terry Foster promised me that. So we're going to get there, and we're going to get that handled. I believe at the end of this week. I'll be back in studio on Friday, I want to say. So we're angling for that, provided there's no travel issues or anything like that. King Tay, is Neil back? Yes, I am. Kind of virtually. Somebody should send Jaden or where was it here? We had this one. Oh, somebody should send Jaden Daniels a Mustang for that performance. And Sean, it was a great Sunday because then the Eagles, they lost to the Commanders and to a real rookie quarterback, not that bum Caleb Williams that we saw yesterday that led his team to 3 points in the second half.
Stand on business,
a real
Neil.
rookie quarterback.
Stand on business.
KG.
I don't need to stand on business. I've been telling you all this forever about this man since he was at USC. And if the sun's out and the wind's at his back and everybody's feeling good and he feels loved, then yeah, he can play okay. But when it's tough, when it's difficult, when he's at Notre Dame or the Lions are in town or whatever, he crumbles. Like that's and I'm done. I'm done talking about him. I am. Because this is what he is, everybody. And by the way, too, what, Sean, you stop that. And by the way, too, Jaden Daniels, did you see that, Sean?
Yes.
That's a real rookie quarterback.
Absolutely.
Playoff hopes in the balance. Big game, big spot, big situation. 5 touchdowns later, there he is. He's not throwing the ball 6 yards down the field all the time. Sean, the Lions destroyed the Bears yesterday. They destroyed them. 3 points in the second half. It was over. It was all over. And oh, by the way, Sean, you want my biggest takeaway from yesterday? I love the Twitter arc yesterday with Jameson Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. I need it. I'll go back and look at it more today after this show's over.
It was
Sean.
joyful.
I will. Sean, everybody with the, what's this guy doing? When's he going to figure it out? Seconds later, 80-plus yard touchdown. This is Jameson Williams, everybody. He's an elite receiver in this league. Get comfortable with that ideology. And yes, I am, JB, yes, I'm dunking on everybody right now. This guy's a factor in the league. He is up there in terms of, is he a top 20 receiver in this league, Sean?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes. Yes. I don't know how anybody could argue that. How
is he trending towards top 10? Yeah. Yeah, Sean.
We're trending. If you're using trending, yeah, we
Not
can.
just yet, but he's
Yeah,
getting
we
there.
can use
Absolutely.
it trending. That's KG, I'm with you. Trending. Heading in that direction. How's that?
He's pulled into that subdivision, and he's looking at houses for sale right now. Is that fair?
Yes,
He's got the money
very.
for the down payment.
That's fair.
He's got a great interest rate locked in. He's a pre-approved buyer. Is that fair? I think that's where we can go with that. But no, Sean, it was a football team yesterday that was on a mission. It was a football team that's been through the injury grinder like you talked about yesterday, but it was a football team that's a professional organization that was on a business trip. And that's my best way to describe it. And Jared Goff was surgical, and the Lions took them apart from the opening kick. And I got irrationally excited, Sean, when they were getting the ball to start the second half, because I'm weird like that. Once they were getting the ball to start the second half, I figured it was a wrap, and it was, Sean. So kudos to you, man. You drilled this.
No, you know what it comes down to, though, Neil? Like, I go back to last Monday, where you and I were even joking about it. It was almost like we were doing a service at the morgue or something. I mean, people were despondent. And as God is my witness, I am never, ever going to be that guy that sits here and tells you things just to make you feel better. That's not my job. It's never been my job. It never will be my job. What I can do is look at this from a logical standpoint. And as you said, it was almost the perfect Sunday. The Lions went out and made everybody breathe a sigh of relief that we're terrified, okay? And as we talked about last week, go beat 2 teams in mail-in mode. One already off the list. Frisco's coming next Monday, okay? And then what you need to do, if the Eagles are going to lose a game, it's not going to be to the Giants. It's not going to be to the Cowboys. It's going to be to the Commanders. Check. And then you've got Minnesota. They've got a game at Seattle where I think we all felt like, maybe Seattle could do it, but I'll take Minnesota. And you've got the Packers at home next week. So you get the Packers at home, and all of a sudden, Neil, the Lions have 2 weeks of nothing. The Minnesota game doesn't mean a damn thing. You do whatever you want. Jefferson, go get your 275 and 3 tutties. Do what you need to do because the game doesn't mean a damn thing. Oh, by the way, one more week to rest the banged up. And then we'll see what happens come, what would that be, January 19th. Can you get some bodies back? Can you get Anzalone back? Are we within that shouting distance of, hey, Hutch, how you feeling? That is the optimum scenario. And all we need is one more game. That's it. All we need. If Green Bay takes care of business against Minnesota, we find ourselves in that scenario. Or as KG said, guess what? If we have to take care of our business ourselves, so be it.
Yep.
We're at Ford Field. I like our offense. I like what our offense should be able to do to Minnesota again. We'll take care of business that way. But Neil, I echo the sentiments that both you and I had a week ago at this time. It is imperative to lock up this number one. I cannot stress that enough. For so many other reasons, even more so than having home field, just the odd chance that you could get some of these bodies back. Because again, I am not going to deviate from my personal feelings. The ultimate success or failure of this team is what happens in January and February. And I want to be in the best possible position. That would put the Lions in the best possible position.
And Sean, what's interesting about that too is that hasn't changed. Like through all this, when we talk and we do this is our job. We sit here and talk about this and analyze stuff, and we as fans, and I'm a fan, you're a fan, like that's what we are. Like we're just fancy fans, like that get a microphone and stuff like that. And Sean, we panic, we overreact, but you know what? Here's what yesterday also showed to me that, and you broke it down as Jared Goff's relax moment. For me, it was one of those things where the destruction of the Chicago Bears yesterday showed that this is the show goes on. This is business as usual for the Detroit Lions. You know, and like, look, if they had their option, would they rather have everybody back? Of course, let's not be stupid here, okay? But with that being said, you know whose expectations don't change at all? Those dudes in the locker room and whoever's out there on the field. And that's just the way it is. And we have evidence of it. And it may work, and they may win the Super Bowl, and it might not, and they might not. And, you know, depending on what happens when they go into San Francisco. But I know this. One thing's for sure, Sean. This organization is about business right now. And they're not about any of the other stuff. They're not about who's not there. They're not about who might be coming back. They're about dealing with it in the moment. And, again, it's no guarantee that they're going to go win the Super Bowl. But, Sean, it was oddly calming watching them take Chicago apart yesterday. For me, it was relaxing and it was calming.
You know what? And this is also one of those cautionary tales, and people should already know this lesson, but it needs to be repeated. Stop buying into the shit that Hard Knocks feeds off every year. Neil, I remember sitting here in this.
Sean, I love it so much. Okay? I love it so much.
I remember sitting here like on a hot August day looking at you guys going, this isn't a new phenomenon. Like, this happens every year. Man, I don't know. There's a good vibe about the Bears. Like, knock it the fuck off. Like, honestly, this happens every year. Whoever does that. Look, this is a made-for-television presentation. They are going to make these guys look something fierce each and every year, and people fall for it. And people on our network, I'm not calling out names, it's too close to Christmas, but people on our network were going, oh, I don't know, I think you guys are all sleeping on the Bears. I'm terrified of Caleb Williams. I remember like looking at you, KG, please tell me you remember that. Just going, what am I missing? Is there something I'm missing here? There's the Bears, well, that was, right there.
Yeah, there's that was an angle I didn't buy into with the Bears. By the way, jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. We got the super chat going as well. You can jump to the front of the line like Burn. It would be the most poetic thing after all the Minnesota chirping about Week 18 meeting us in the playoffs if Week 18 was meaningless and Minnesota got bounced in the wild card. Burn, I'll say this. Please don't let that happen, because I'll be even more overbearing. I'll be even more obnoxious to Vikings fan. And I know, Vikings fan, that you are in here right now. You are in this chat right now. I know you're in here, and you just can't stand it right now, can you? You just can't stand it. But guess what, Vikings fan? I want it. I want you guys to beat the Packers. I want us to beat the 49ers, and I want you to roll into town with everything on the line. That's what I want, Vikings fan. And I know there's some hurdles to clear before we get there, but I'm waiting on you, Vikings fan. Ford Field in the new year. Everybody's going to be working out on their New Year's resolutions, and every Planet Fitnesses will be on jam, and everybody will be in good shape and ready to go. And I can't wait for it, Vikings fan. Dante151 in the super chat. Hey, can I get me some credit for pointing out Caleb Williams wasn't ready yet for the NFL, and his performances against Notre Dame and his play now in year one of the NFL. Also, Goff and Jackson back in the MVP discussion. Dante151, I'll address the second one first. I think that here's the deal with media, Dante151, and I know because I'm in media. They want things easy. And it would take like thought and stuff like that to reopen that, because media's already handed that off to Josh Allen.
Yep.
And they're done with it.
Yep.
And they're not in the business of going back in and saying, "Oh my God, I got to think about this again." But it's perfect. Dante, I like it better that way. You, for real, being honest. And guys, Justin in the chat, can you fire up a chat poll right now? Do you think Jared Goff really gives a shit about the MVP award right now? I honest to God do not.
No.
I honest to God do not. Honest to God. And so Dante, that's the answer. As far as Caleb Williams not being ready yet for the NFL, Dante, I tried to tell the people too, man, and they just didn't listen, and they still don't listen. There are people that watched him play yesterday that walk away saying, "Well, he didn't throw any interceptions, and he threw for 2 touchdowns, and it was 300 yards. Bro, look at him in that huddle, and then go look at Jaden Daniels in that huddle. They are not the same. They are built different. All right, let's do this. Let's take the first break, because I want to come back. And for the final time, Sean, because we have a lot of FTB in the show sheet today. As a matter of fact, that's all we have. Will you guys humor me? Can we talk about this game? Because I want to laugh at the Bears. Just for 5 more minutes before we throw the dirt over their coffin.
Oh, twist my arm. Wow. Give me a chance to say fuck the Bears. I don't know if I can do that, Neil.
All right. Somebody tell them about Sabbath Coffee.
Oh, is that me?
I will tell them about Sabbath Coffee as I triple team trying to do this. Hold on, let me pull up the little thingy here. All right, Sabbath Coffee. Fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup. Become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters, whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning at home. Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with a fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awaken online, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, are you looking for the latest in Detroit sports wearables? Well, go to woodwardsports.com/merch to get all the best and new era of designs, apparel, and all the ultimate Detroit swag. Hoodies, t-shirts, hats, guaranteed to turn heads. Click on the designs today at woodwardsports.com and click the shop tab.
All right, we're off and running here on a Victory Monday. Again, been a lot of victories this season. My name is Neil Rule. I'm here in Hawaii with Oakland basketball. They play Oregon State in the semifinals of the Diamond Head Classic, 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight with a spot in the championship game on the line. Sean Belizean's back in our Woodward Sports compound in Birmingham with KG in the building, with young Justin as well, mixing and scratching on the ones and twos. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, remember the super chat options out there. You can jump the line, as I like to say. And we'll get all your comments, get to all your thoughts as well. I'm going to rip through a couple of these right now. Just a fan. Can't throw it deep, can't play in the cold weather. Was I lied to again? Yes, just a fan. You were lied to. You were absolutely lied to. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into it. Freddie felt Neil's doing what the Bears are going to be doing in 2 weeks, vacationing on an island. Freddie, I'm here for work, man. I'm not vacationing. Woodward Sports chat thread. RM Dole, Goff can't play in the cold, can't play outdoors, right? He looked like he was either he got incredibly more comfortable with it, Sean, or he's just a good quarterback. I can't decide which one it is.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Look, honestly, I'm not being funny. If you can't acknowledge it now, it's never going to happen. So we can move on from that one. It's now it's at the point of absurdity, and you're just being silly.
I was told last week we scared to go to Philly.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to go to Philly though.
Man, but if they got to,
I don't want to go to Philly.
If they got to, it is what it is.
Yeah,
they gonna
but
handle
I
business.
don't want to. I admit that. Neil, I don't want to go to Philly. I want nothing to do with
Well,
Philly.
Sean, nobody wants to go to Philly because it's
Exactly.
trash city with
I
rats.
don't want to go. I don't want a cheesesteak. I don't want anything. No, you can bring it. Bring the cheesesteak home, but I don't want to go.
I'll be in Philly next week. I'll make sure I flip off some Eagle statues.
There you go. Okay, I like it. Mike O in the chat. Hey, Neil, I heard a rumor with some substance. EVs are banned in Hawaii. Please confirm. As a matter of fact, Mike O, they are not. As a matter of fact, they have more chargers in Honolulu than they do in Cleveland. So there's that, Mike O. How does that one taste?
Did
All
you
right,
fly your
Sean,
EV over there?
No, I didn't. I can just walk everywhere. So,
okay, gotcha.
so I'm good with that. Ryan's reaction in the chat. Can either of you name a QB in history with worse body language and leadership than Caleb Williams? Okay, guys, I asked Sean to do this, and he agreed. This is going to be about 6 minutes or so, okay? And Ryan's reaction wants to get into it as well. I want to do a final send-off to the Bears before we look ahead because we're a good football organization and we have other things going on. Like, the show goes on for us. Like, that's the way it works as Lions fans. So, absolutely, it's an RIP Tuesday on Monday. Sean, I do have to ask this. Like, Caleb Williams, and you know my thoughts on him. There were multiple times yesterday, Sean, watching that game. Thomas Brown, that's their interim coach, right?
Yeah.
And I just, Sean, what were they doing in the second half? Kicking field goals to make a three-score game and lose 30 yards of field position? And they did it multiple times. Punting to move the ball 30 yards when they're down 60. Like, what is going on with them, dude? It can't be like, look, Eberflus, Thomas Brown. It doesn't matter who you put as coach on that team, Sean. I don't know if it's organizationally. All I know is they suck.
It is full mail-in mode, man. I'm sorry. You've seen it 1,000 times. You've seen it at the Silverdome. You've seen it at Ford Field. You guys know it as well as I do. And it's interesting because, Neil, I don't remember who it was, but you mentioned that the turnovers weren't there. And it's like, it's so much more than the turnovers. It's exactly what was it, Mike? The body language. the missed throws, okay? And I told you, I am somebody, I do not bury a guy in year one. I don't think it's fair. I just don't. And I know you do, but you and I had this conversation for the benefit of people that maybe missed the pregame show yesterday, and shame on you for doing that. But for the benefit of those of you that missed it, I don't bury guys year one. How many times have we done it here? How many times have you seen it done elsewhere? But what you can do is you can look at those little things, okay? Great. He cleaned up the turnovers a little bit. He is missing throws. He doesn't look like a leader. It's all the other stuff that you don't see on a stat sheet right now. So if we're using the term trending, okay, I don't know. Let me ask a Bear fan. How comfortable do you feel handing the keys of your historic franchise? I hate you with every fiber of my being. I don't know if I've ever stressed that enough. I hate the Bears. I fucking hate the Bears. Fuck the Bears. Okay, there, I got out. But it is a historic franchise, okay? You're handing the keys to Caleb Williams and saying, here, this is yours. This is yours. This is your franchise. Caleb Williams and the Bears are now one. I don't know how anybody could feel real comfortable about that today, Neil.
No, I don't disagree with you, and it's laughable. Their organization is laughable. Their coaching situation is laughable. Look, I know it's not the time for this right now, but I want to warm this up and get it ready. Ben Johnson, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And look, if someone shoves $75 million in your face and says, hey, if you sign this piece of paper, you get $75 million. Ben Johnson, I don't know that I could do it. Just being real with you right now.
You could.
I'm asking you. I couldn't. You're right. You know what? You're right. I can't do that. I can't do that. But Ben Johnson, you're probably a better man than I am. All right? Don't do it, Ben. Ben, don't do it. Don't go there. You saw it firsthand. You saw it firsthand this weekend. You saw the three. Ben, don't do it. Don't do it.
Neil, you know as well as I do, though, it's ego. It is. It's ego. 100%. These guys have egos. Every one of them. It may be a small ego. It may be a large ego. But you know deep down inside that Ben Johnson is sitting there right now saying, I could fix that. Are you kidding me? I get to work with Caleb Williams. I get to be the head man of the Chicago Bears. I could fix that. Every one of these guys have an ego. Now, the good coaches check their ego. You know, it's that hard-headed coach that says, I'm going to make this square peg fit into my system, as opposed to making the system fit the strengths and weaknesses of said players. But my goodness gracious, Neil, I wouldn't be shocked. Now, look, would you rather go to Cincinnati? Of course. There are some more things in place, but I think
owners
so.
is cheap.
I still think so. I still think
Okay.
so. And with the pieces in place,
Well, Joe Burrow, yeah, I can
and you got
understand it,
Jamar Chase, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm an offensive mind. Give me all my offensive weapons. But Neil, I wouldn't do it either. But we'll see. Like the one thing that you and I don't have is that coaching ego that drives these guys and makes them the successes that they are.
And that's 100% fair. Burn in the chat. But, Neil, the Bears are the best situation in football to walk into. Burn, we were told that.
That was a real
that.
conversation.
Was I lied to?
KG and I were
said it
talking
too.
about that during the break. They
I take
literally.
full responsibility because, I mean, on the surface, on paper, he did have a very insulated situation. But the coaching was always bad. It had remained bad, and that offensive line remained terrible.
KG, stop with that. Stop with that. Because you're still saying it without saying it when you say that stuff. When you say, but the offensive line is bad. KG, can't play.
Neil, I just need to see more than 1 year. But I promise you, I'm closer to your side than ever. Trust me.
But this
Can't
see,
play.
Neil, this goes back to the conversation, okay? Rookie quarterback with a bad offensive line. Life's already miserable enough for a rookie quarterback, okay? It really is. As we talked about then, and I'll talk about now, for every Jaden Daniels, for every CJ Stroud, I got a list a mile long. You don't want to have that conversation, right? Rookie quarterbacks struggle. This is not a recent phenomenon. So you're going to pair a rookie quarterback with an awful offensive line. Hey, good luck with that. That's cool. Good luck with that.
Yeah, Ben, again, just as we ride this off, because there's some other things that I want to get into about this game. Ben, don't do it, my friend. But you know what you should do, Ben, is watch a Woodward Sports pregame show. Just turn it on the phone in the locker room there when you guys are out in San Francisco. That's exactly what you guys should do. I can't believe there's only two regular season pregame shows left. It all starts with Woodward in Maine from 8 to 9 a.m. with Terry Foster, with Matthew Broder, and then they give way most times. Monday night games are different, but on regular Sundays, like when the Vikings are in town in a couple of weeks, they give way to myself and Sean Belize and the New Holland Brewing Company, Woodward Sports pregame show brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey and the very fine Sabbath Coffee Roasters. And we will be back, Sean. We will ride again over at Second Best downtown. Great wings, great chicken sandwich, tons of drinks, all of it. And it all goes down on your only destination for football, Woodward Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Listen, if you're a Bears fan, we all know you got to drown your misery, man. So why don't you do it with the official tequila of the Detroit Lions, man? That is 1800 Tequila, man. Join 1800 and Woodward Sports every single Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate all those smooth wins with the best tequila on the market right now. Proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila is the best taste in tequila, and please, y'all, drink responsibly.
Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule here in Hawaii, Sean Belize on location at the compound in Birmingham, KG. We have young Justin in the building. I saw Chase in the background over there.
Yes, sir.
We got the squad out there, everybody. We're not playing games today. Unlike the Chicago Bears, they weren't playing any games yesterday, but we're talking Lions Bears. It's going to dominate the discussion. Sean, I'm going to need, and good people of the chat, I need 6 minutes on the Tigers in the second hour. 6 minutes.
Yes, please.
Let's get to it.
6 minutes on the Tigers.
And then say the other one.
And Sean, we got to, and good people of the chat, I know it's a Victory Monday. We have to talk about the Red Wings.
I was hoping it was the other one. Darn it.
It's
Not
time.
the playoff, Justin. Nobody.
We're gonna touch on the playoff as well. There was a lot going on. There's a lot to unpack.
Okay, good.
And yes, we are gonna talk. We are gonna talk about the playoff as well.
At least some joy if you're going to bring the Wings into this.
Dude. All right. Anyway, we're not there yet. Woodward Sports chat thread. I like to say that you guys program the show, and we like talking about what you guys want to talk about, except for James. Think of how many furnaces you could buy with $75 million, Neil. That is pretty funny. Sticks in the chat. I worked at Kiss 103.5 in Chicago. Chicago is not where you want to live. And that people are just telling Ben Johnson, don't do it. You saw it, don't do it. Here's a question. And this is intriguing to me, Sean. Is Jared Goff trending towards a Hall of Fame career? Right now.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Yes. Oh, gosh, yes. You have to. After the renaissance of the last few years, absolutely. And the more you see some of the comparative stats, he's done this through his first whatever, he's done that through his first whatever. You see those things pop up during the course of games. How on earth could you argue it, especially once you mix in a ring? You know, and obviously we hope it's this year. I'm not saying anything we don't know, but at that point in time, my goodness gracious, how could you have that discussion any longer? You have to acknowledge it now.
People are going to fight, man. They're going to fight with every fiber of their being on it, Sean, because their back's against the wall.
Go right ahead. You know what? It comes to a point in time where when you've got the numbers to support it, it's just like the people like me that a few years ago said, I don't know what happened to this guy. He's a turnover machine. He turns the ball over constantly, right? I wasn't wrong. I was speaking in fact, okay? Now, the flip side to that is you have to acknowledge what a guy is doing, both good and bad. What the guy is doing is comparable to a bunch of studs. And you see those graphics come up each and every game, Neil. You saw the graphics coming up when you were out in Hawaii. They're the same graphics, by the way. They don't have like a Detroit version of graphics. No, those are graphics that are going across everywhere. And he's at that point. Trending is a good word, KG. It is.
He's elevated his game. He is absolutely in his prime right now. If you look at the last 2 years, he's been a top 5 QB in a lot of categories, over the last 2 years. And then when you add in the Lions' history, he got more done in 2 weeks than Matt Stafford did in 12 years. Got the Lions to an NFC championship game and was a half away from it. If he can get to a Super Bowl and they go in there and win that damn thing, it's not a doubt in my mind. But even if they don't, if he can put together another 3 to 4 years of this kind of play, I don't see why he wouldn't make the Hall of Fame.
Neil, you know what's interesting? And I agree with you. I want to go back to something that you said in the last segment that I thought was spot on. And it's the lazy media members, the lazy people that scratch the surface, okay? You know as well as I do, and everybody else out there, you know this. Do you know what people are going to say about Josh Allen and Jared Goff? Well, Josh Allen went to Ford Field and knocked off the Lions, and he was unstoppable. You're right. You're absolutely right. I am not going to argue that. But did you just press one button so you could look at the other team's stats? Jared Goff had 494 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, he also rushed for, what was it, like 15 yards or whatever the hell it was? He had over 500 yards of offense and 5 touchdowns. Really, is that what it's coming down to? Now, listen, at the end of the day, you are spot on. There are people that are just going to look at that stat line, Josh Allen's stat line, mind you, and the final score. I would contend dig a little deeper because there's more of a conversation than I think people are willing to say. 494 and 5 touchdowns through the air, over 500 yards of offense. Should he be hanging his head? Like what are we doing here? But unfortunately, that's the routine for a lot of these cats, man.
Again, this year, as I peruse the numbers, just real quick, and this isn't, I'm not doing some analyzed breakdown. He's second in the league in yardage. He's fourth in the league in touchdowns.
There you go.
Last year, he was second in the league in yardage. He was fourth in touchdowns. I'm done having that discussion, man. I wanted to bring it up because somebody brought it up in the chat, so I know it's on people's minds. But again, here we are having this discussion. We're 15 weeks into the season. Last year was exactly the same as this year. Second in yards, fourth in touchdowns. You're an idiot. Let's just cut the shit, KG, all right? If you still don't think that Jared Goff is an elite quarterback in the league, you're an idiot.
It's your fault.
Accuracy is a trait. Accuracy matters. Command of a huddle. guys that guys will go to war for. That stuff matters. It's not just, and look, bottom line, this will be very, very unpopular with those people. The Josh Allen thing, and I just kind of parachuted back into the numbers. You look at what Lamar Jackson's doing this year. And look, I know as well as anybody how the real world works, right? And media's made up their mind, and Josh Allen's getting the award. If you haven't in a minute, pull up those Lamar Jackson numbers again, and I know what the narrative is, right? I'll say this. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are on the exact same exit of the highway. To quote Metallica, nothing else matters. If they don't get the Super Bowl win, there's nothing else that they can do. But if you're looking at an MVP award, dude, Lamar Jackson's silly with it. Josh Allen will probably get it. I don't care. Jared Goff doesn't care. We have an elite quarterback in Detroit. Period. Hard stop.
That's the funniest thing, Neil. It's there's so much of an all or nothing mentality now. It doesn't make Jared Goff a less than quarterback. Neil, I'll tell you point blank, and I know it's not going to be popular, and if you guys want to scream at me, if I had a vote, I'd vote Josh Allen. I would vote Josh Allen. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because Jared Goff is not that far away. And it doesn't make Jared Goff a less than quarterback. It doesn't take away from what he's been able to do with this team. I think that there are other factors that go into it. I think what he has around him. In my mind, we can't sit back out of one side of our mouth and talk about our plethora of weapons, which is real, and then say, well, that doesn't count a conversation like that. I just don't think the guy has a lot around him. But this is where the all or nothing conversation comes in my mind. That doesn't mean that he's dog shit.
No.
That doesn't mean that he's not like right underneath them, not only in the conversation, but oh, by the way, as a guy that can go win everything.
And Sean, that's what irritates me, is because that's the narrative around Jared Goff. Yeah, he's great, he's top 5, he's this, he's that, but Ben Johnson, but all the weapons around him. First of all, that's not his fault. Just point blank, period.
Nope.
And secondly, he doesn't get enough credit for going out there and executing. You can have the greatest offensive coordinator in the fucking world, but if you're not going out there and executing on every play, and I mean, he's busted every narrative. Oh, he can't play in cold weather. He's busted that. Oh, he can't throw the deep ball. He led the league in air yards last year, and then look, he's throwing bombs to J-Mo in 19-degree weather. Like, what are we talking about? Every single challenge that they've thrown in front of him, he's beaten that narrative, man. So I don't think he gets enough credit for executing.
Agreed.
A great offense.
Agreed.
Well, KG, the kids would say he, quote, beat the allegations.
Thank you.
That's what the kids would say right now. He beat the small hands allegations.
He did.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. All right, guys, let's do this then. We'll take this break, and then there's another angle that I want to talk about. Someone tell them about Lady Jane's.
Oh, that is me. Lady Jane's, man, where you can come get a haircut and come feel like a guy, man, because it is wicked awesome. Listen, I don't even need to read. We freestyling, man. Listen. The Lady Jane's girls, some of the best in the world right now, and you can just come in and you don't even have to make an appointment. You can walk in. They always ready for you to make you look good. Sean Belegian bricking yet again. But listen, man, hot towel, hot leather neck shave, whatever you need, the Lady Jane's girls got it, man. So go get your appointment today. Lady Jane's, it is wicked awesome.
Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey, we have college football games going on right now.
Love
and if you
it.
feel like you want to get in on that action, use Woodward 1000 on Caesar Sportsbook to get an $1,000 bonus bet back if you lose. Go to CaesarSportsbook.com or scan this QR code to put Woodward 1000 in and use this risk-free bet. The minimum bet is just $20, so download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use Woodward 1000 or scan the QR code on the screen right above my head.
Buddy, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for D-Mac. We got young Justin on the ones and twos. KG's in the building. Chase is there as well. The Myrtle Beach Bowl right now going on. Texas, San Antonio, Coastal Carolina. A battle
Electric.
of 6 and 6 teams. It's scoreless at the end of the first quarter because, of course, it is. Because I'm sure they don't have their quarterback. I'm sure they don't have their wide receiver. All of it.
Touchdown,
Happy
UTSA!
Christmas. Oh, we're on the board. Okay,
We're on the
there
board.
we go, everybody.
We got one.
We're on the board. Coastal Carolina, I believe, was like a 13.5-point underdog in the game. So, that's going on. Hey, cool. Whatever. Happy Christmas Eve, by the way. Real quick, Sean. Christmas Eve. Very underrated.
Slept on.
Because
It is.
we're here, right? We're
It
at
is.
the holiday time. But there's none of the responsibilities. Not even, and look, pound for pound, Christmas Eve is better than Christmas Day. To me, it is. It's number one. It's number one. Number one. I love Christmas Eve, but Christmas Eve has all the vibes and none of the responsibility.
You know what I have to do? I was telling the guys in here today, Neil. Like for me, my brain is going a million miles an hour because we're going to have a lot of people over. And so, like, for me, Christmas Eve is when I do some of the stuff ahead of time. Like, I'm literally making like 500, like, pigs in a blanket, okay? So, you know what I do? I fire them in the oven tonight and then just go, you know what? I'm going to wrap them tomorrow anyway. I'm just going to keep them in the oven. One less thing I have to do. But that's chill. I'm not running around. I got the game on. I'm sipping a few beverages. There's a good vibe about Christmas Eve.
No, I do. I absolutely love it. In the chat, I saved this one because I'm waiting to get to it. And Skydog722 in the chat. Sean Neal, Stick might be mad at me because I said the defense made Caleb Williams look like Steve Young. Can you explain why he would be upset? Skydog, hey, I'll take a crack at this. Probably because you don't truly believe that. Probably because when you're up 34-14 on the road and you are doing whatever you want offensively, you have no fear of the Chicago Bears. You have no fear of them. You have no fear of Caleb Williams. So, yeah, and Sean, again, I'll defer to the football people because I always like to put that disclaimer out there. But even me, who watches the ball all the time, because that's my profession. That's what I do. I watch the ball in games, and I tell you what's going on. And I can't break myself from it. It's what I do when I watch games. Even me, who has a less than understanding of what's going on than all the football people, can tell you this. It seemed to me they played a whole lot of zone, Sean, which would make sense because they're up 20 points in the second half on the road against a quarterback who is no threat, who put up 3 points in the second half. Am I warm on that, Sean?
It is. Do you know what it was? I thought it was a Jake Plummer performance. I really, it was. It was a Jake Plummer performance. And Neil, that's one of the worst bits in the history of the NFL, as far as I'm concerned. Here comes Jake the Snake. Well, when you're down 35-0, and oh, by the way, you were a shitstorm before then. Well, defenses are going to back off a little bit. That's just the reality of it. I mean, when you look at it, Caleb Williams went 26 of 40 for 334 yards and 2 touchdowns. A vast majority of that was when you were down 20-0. So when you're down 20-0, you bet your sweet patootie you're going to play differently. That's just the way it is. And I guess the question that I would have for Skydog or anybody else, at any point in that time, did you go, oh no, here come the Bears. Oh no, here comes Caleb Williams. No, you didn't. You know it. I know it. We can all move on from it.
America knows it. DJ in the chat. Dude put up 17 points, was down 20-0 before they scored, and y'all talking defense. Still a joke. That's a joke question. Clown question, bro. I believe it is the proper terminology. But still, though, Sean, it's just they scored 3 points in the second half at home.
Yeah.
Period. Your defense played well. Your defense played well, especially when you have a surgeon at quarterback and a mad scientist as the offensive coordinator. And oh, by the way, can we talk about the play? Can we talk about that?
Which one?
The stumble bomb?
Which one?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wants to talk, and the ha-ha and the he-he's and all that kind of stuff about it. I don't know if people heard it. You know the origin of that, Sean? They were talking about it. That actually happened in a game against the Bears earlier this year. It actually happened. The Packers. It happened to the Packers. Somebody fell down. Bears lost their mind defensively. There were people open everywhere. That's how deep it runs, Sean. That I always laugh when people question coaches and the job coaches do, and they weren't prepared and stuff like that. Teams weren't prepared. That's a media thing. That's how deep it runs, to where that's how comprehensive the game plan was. What angle can we get on these guys? Where are they weak at? What can we exploit? Hey, here's an idea. I saw this earlier this year. Somebody actually fell on the ground, and the Bears didn't know what to do. So let's pretend like we fell on the ground. The Bears won't know what to do. And guess what happened? They didn't know what to do, Sean. It was a masterclass in coaching.
That's what you do. One of my favorite plays, like when you have that aggressive pin the ears back defense, right? Like I always joked I would be the worst defensive coordinator in the history of mankind because my base defense would be send them. Like, right? It just say, hey, coach, what do you want us to do? Send them. Like, hey, Neil's on the edge looking at the sideline. I just go like this. I let everybody know Neil's coming off the edge. He's coming on a blitz, okay? So how many times do you see teams pick apart a defense like that? Okay, I'm going to use your over-aggressiveness against you, and I'm going to pause that second and set up a screen, and it's going to go for 35 yards. It might go for 50 yards. So you use the defense's weaknesses against them, and that's why guys look at film. That's why guys do that studying to pick up on things like that. To try to take away from him picking that up is crazy. And some people were actually doing that, and it's like, you're a miserable human being. Like, what are you even doing? This is the man's job. He's watching tape. He's looking for any kind of edge he could use. Oh, by the way, it turned into 6 points. Cool.
Once again, Jared Goff in the execution, because you have to, everything has to work for that play in order for that to work, 100%. Man. He stumbled. He was able to keep his balance, still find Sam Laporta. You had the defense yelling fumble because he sold it so well. Like, these are the things to where I stick up for Jared Goff, because, yes, he has a great team around him, but you still have to go out there and do the damn thing. And that was just a great play call and great execution by Jared Goff and offense.
Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there. You can jump the line with the super chat option as well, so that's on the table. If you want to get your shit off instantly, as KG would like to say, MPWMU. I was told Goff is a game manager. Sean, I love that I was told has become a thing. It's one of the things I'm most proud of in my career. I've done a lot of cool stuff. Hey, I'm doing cool things now, all right? I get to do a lot of cool stuff. My life is great. But one of the things I'm most proud of, I was told has become a movement, and I'm here for it, John.
No, and you should pat yourself on the back, but in our business, somebody else will take credit for it. So maybe you really didn't do it, Neil. Maybe you really didn't do it.
I'm sure you'll hear it on the flagship later, as a matter of fact. Later on today, as a matter of fact. By the way, watch this show now, hear what you're going to hear on the radio later. Tyler Jonas, Neil is a tool. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate that. In the chat. Okay. All right. Let's go. All right, here. I'm cutting the break off because I want to get to this one.
Uh-oh.
And I was waiting, and Sean, I pointed at him in the camera, and one of them blew their cover. They stepped out into the chat. We're going to discuss when I'm cutting the break early just so we can give it its proper due. All right.
What y'all do?
Let's discuss it. Let's discuss second best, by the way. Yeah. Oh, it's so little cute. So little cute. Like second best. Second best is cute. I want to pinch second best cheeks every time that we go in there. They're at 42 Watson Street in downtown Detroit. If you're going to a game at LCA, if you're going to Fox Theater for a concert, whatever you're doing, second best needs to be in your rotation. Tons of Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. We do the Woodward Sports pregame show from there as well. It's a great time. It's a great spot. It's a great vibe. And they got elite food, everybody. Second best in Detroit. Come get some.
And the Salvation Army do not have that read either. But Salvation Army buckets everywhere, every store you go to, man. Just donate a little bit. Everything that you give, if you give, I believe, more than a $10 donation, they will double it. And, it's the holiday season, man. People want to feel good. Families need that help. So give to a Salvation Army today, man. Hit that red kettle.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Are you looking for a new beer or a long drink?
I am.
I have what you're looking for. New Holland has the best beer, the Tangerine Space Machine, and long drink in the game, the taller Finnish long drink. So make sure that you support local. Their brewery is out in Holland, Michigan. The official beer of outer space and the official beer and long drink of Woodward Sports.
Or number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports. Get it together, young Justin.
Right, get it together.
All right, get it together. Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Sean Belizen here with you.
Neil, I have to report a crime to you. Can I report a crime to you? There were 2 6-packs of taller here yesterday, and one of them mysteriously disappeared. And I have no idea what happened, but it looks to me like somebody took a whole 6-pack of taller home. And I just think that's a terrible thing, and my kids loved it. It's so good.
My kids loved it.
Neil, it's so good.
Sean,
it's so
we talk
good.
about this a lot. In your career, Sean, you have pitched things, I have pitched things that, you're selling. Like, that's it. The company, the sponsor wants their brand awareness and that's how the transaction works. There is no playing around with taller. From New Holland.
Nope.
There is no playing around.
Nope.
It's changed my life. Is it sad that could change my life? Yes, maybe. I don't know, but I know it's good.
And it's one of those things, like, I kid you not, it was My son tried it. He took a drink, and then he looked at it, and then he looked at it, and then he took another drink, and he was like, wow, this lived up to the hype. And I was like, what do you mean by that? Because you know the routine. A lot of times if somebody does you the hard sell, they make it sound like, I'm going to use a sports example. Wrigley Field, okay? Wrigley Field is nice, okay? I'm not going to diss Wrigley Field. But the way that people talked up Wrigley Field to me, it was never, ever going to live up to those expectations. Like, I half expected giant bosom German women to walk over bringing me steins, like the way that people talked it up. Oh, and the heavens opening up, and it was never, ever going to live up to that expectation, okay? And I talked this up so hard, I watched it live up to the expectations when I brought it home for my son and for my wife and everything. They were like, this is all that. And I'm sure that everybody else out there will feel the exact same way.
No question about it. All right. And I lost the message because it cycled through, but you know who you are. And but I remember what it said. I just don't remember who said it. And if you're a coward, you'll remain hiding after I bring this up.
Ooh,
but if you're a man,
out,
you'll step up and come forward on this. Hey, Neil, I was told that Sam Darnold's a terrible quarterback. Where are you at now? All right, Vikings fan.
Uh-oh.
You just won't go away, will you? You are obsessed. You are obsessed with us. And as my good friend Sean Belizean said no more than 45 minutes ago, make no mistake, we're still the boss. You can have your cute little run and all of that, but we're still the boss. You're still looking up at us right now, Vikings fan, and you look me in the eye. And hey, here's the deal, Vikings fan. If he's so great, sign him now. Sign him to an extension now if he's so great. Go ahead and do it. Lock him up, right? He's awesome.
Might as well trade JJ.
Awesome. Trade JJ, 100%. Do it right now. You have the answer. He's sitting right there. What's your move, Vikings fan? Sign him now. He's as cheap as he'll ever be right now, because when he leads you to the Super Bowl, it's only going to be more, right? So come on, Vikings fan. Make your move. Make it. You just told me Sam Darnold's great. Neil, you're a clown. You don't think he's any good. Sign him now. What are you waiting on? Do the extension right now. Put the entire league on notice that Sam Darnold's here for the long haul. Go ahead and do it. You know this is fake, everybody. You know this is fake. You know it is. And that's fine, and it's cute, and you guys will look real, real cute on the road at 14-3 or whatever your final record ends up being. If you beat the Packers 14-3, you'll look real cute on the road in a wild card game, staring up at the boss who's got a bye, who won the division, who's got real Super Bowl aspirations. If he's so great, sign him now. What are you waiting for? Sign him now.
I love arguments like that. They're really adorable. They really are. And again, you have quickly moved up my list. You are the cutest fan base. I am so serious. Because, Neil, I am not doing my job. You are not doing your job if you can't acknowledge, wow, Sam Darnold is performing a hell of a lot better than I thought he would, right? It's easy to say. You didn't think it either. There's no way in hell. Whoever that was, Viking fan 289752, whatever, there is no way in hell that you thought that Sam Darnold was going to come out and go 32-11. You didn't think it was going to happen. I know it's easier to call out Neil or me or KG or whatever. I get that. I do. But at the end of the day, listen, props. I'm serious, props. You lost your starting quarterback, who was a rookie, by the way. You put in a guy that was slowly becoming a journeyman, and this journeyman, he had his own renaissance, much like Jared Goff. Props. And you're still looking up. The Lions are still running the yard, okay? Until further notice. That's the way it is, all right? So, like I told a guy last week, best of luck. You know you're shitting your pants at the prospect of playing the Packers next week. And the reality is that game might not mean a damn thing at Ford Field January 5th. But you got Sam Darnold, so I'm with Neil. Lock him up. Lock him up, baby.
Show me. Yeah, show me. Yeah. Hey, long term, $50 million a year. Go ahead, lock it in. Yeah, Rose. Hey, Good to see Rose back, by the way. Dev in the chat. Neil, after we smash the 49ers and the Packers beat the Vikings, do they rest everyone week 18? And there's been a couple of questions about that, Sean. And for me, I don't think it's like a blanket approach. Here's my impression of how it might work, and you tell me what your thoughts are on it, Sean. If that situation were to play itself out, I think Dan Campbell goes to each and every person and says, what do you need? We're going to be, if you want out, we're going to be off for 2 weeks. So essentially 3 weeks between games, because we're going to have this bye, and this Minnesota game has become a bye because we have the NFC 1 seed locked up. If that is the case, that is how I think it works, where they go around to all the affected parties and say, what do you want? What do you need? There's a communication of it all right there. And you have to trust your players. And your players will tell you what they need, and that's how it will work. You think, am I close on that, you think, Sean?
I think so. Yeah, I'll go back to Neil a week ago. We provided this path when people were ready to bury the Lions, and there were a lot more than people want to admit, okay? And that's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you. I promise, all right? But when people were ready to bury the Lions, you know what? We need the Commanders to come up big in that game against Philly. Check. We need the Lions to beat a bad Bears team. Check. Okay? Now, you know what we need? We need to go in and beat a bad Niners team who's in mail-in mode. I can't check that off yet. And we need either Seattle or we need Green Bay to knock off Minnesota. And Neil, to me, I'm going to use a term from a league that you're a little familiar with. How about some load management comes into place? I'm serious. That would be the conversation I have. Hey, you're a little danged up. Coach, it might be good for me to sit the next couple weeks. Okay, cool. And then all of a sudden we're having those conversations where it is more realistic. Do we get Anzalone back? We might get Anzalone back. And all the people that are talking about Hutch, and I mean, let's face it, there were slapdicks out there that were saying, he might be back in late December. That was never going to happen. But all of a sudden, Neil, guess what? It's January 19th. And while he might not be ready yet, God forbid, could he be ready in a week? Okay, maybe he's not ready in a week. Could he be ready for the Super Bowl? And he has an additional 2 weeks on top of that to get himself healthy as can be. So now all of a sudden we're talking about some of those injuries that everybody was doing, woe is me, the season's over, we're done. All of a sudden you start talking about getting bodies back. Oh, by the way, did I mention we kept the number 1 seed? Okay, cool. That sounds good. So, yes, absolutely. Get him up. So, yes, absolutely, Neil. This is a load management situation. If a guy's hey, can I give you a perfect example? Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr, you don't need 20 touches today. You don't. As a matter of fact, if you don't want any touches, you don't have to have them, right? Those are the types of situations that I'm talking about. So I think you're on point there, Neil. I do.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Remember, subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Where are we at? 70. Someone will be the 75,000th subscriber, by the way, coming up probably today or tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So shout out to everybody there. Thousands of you watching right now. We're number 1 at this, but that's because of you. So thank you. Can we get Sean a foam finger? Please. Please. Is a foam finger still a thing? Number 1. People would put a foam finger in the air. Number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some reaction to the Christmas Eve is a vibe as well. Ryan's reaction. I love how slow everything is today. Hurricane says, especially Christmas on Wednesdays. Christmas Eve is awesome. So a lot of love for Christmas Eve, because you're allowed to go all in for the vibes, the music, the decorations. You're allowed to go all in, but you don't have 1,000,001 things to do. So that's what makes that cool. Aaron to the Stone. I'll defer to Sean on this. He's the college football expert. Who's your money on between Northern Illinois and Fresno State. Come on, Sean, break it down.
Isn't that stuff great? Like, we were talking about that, like, just as we were going on the air. Like, Neil, I should have put, like, a board up next to me because I noticed my head going like this. And you've probably noticed it, too, because I'm watching UTSA with a 14-0 lead on Coastal Carolina right now. I don't care what anybody says, and I was talking about this on Friday, Neil, to all the people that said Bulls are dead. No, they aren't. And the reason why they're not dead is because you have people out there, whether it be the Myrtle Beach Tourism Committee, whether it be Duke's Mayo, that are willing to spend $1 gazillion to sponsor that. So as long as you still have the sponsorships, as long as you can invite the Oakland Golden Grizzly football team to come out to your bowl and give them $1.5 million, these games are going to exist. And this adds to the vibe, Neil. In my opinion, this adds to the vibe. If you're one of those guys that have the day off, thank you for checking us out. I appreciate it. But you can sit here and watch college football at 11 o'clock in the morning, man. Like, that's a December 23rd vibe all day, Neil.
6 a.m. here in Hawaii. That game kicked off. 6 a.m. here in Hawaii, as a matter of fact. It's crazy. Based Jairin in the chat, in the super chat, by the way. Saying the Lions have Super Bowl aspirations with all those injuries is more delusional than all the Kirk stands that infested the Vikings fan base. The Lions choking the division Week 18 into a wild card loss is going to be cinema. Base Jaron.
Nice, man.
There is nothing better. Like I'm going to stop this gentleman right now. Neil and I are talking about things that have already happened, past tense. There is nothing better than making your argument over that which hasn't happened. I like where I'm sitting. There is not one thing that we said that is not a fact. You are still looking up. You still have Sam Darnold as your quarterback. The Lions are still the number 1 seed. Okay? So come back to me. There it is. Come back to me when everything that you said surely happens, right? Everything that you said surely happens. Come back to me and we can have that conversation. And you know, I'll act like a man and I'll go, hey, man, wow, props to you and all that stuff. But until then, you best not be writing checks that your ass can't cash, right? But it's easy for somebody like you. You'll just disappear and we'll never hear from you again, just like Kaiser Sose. Poof, and he's gone. We'll never hear from you again.
And along those lines, like, Jaron, like, you can tell me what you think. I'll tell you what we know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of a very succinct way of what Sean just said. You tell me what you think. I'll tell you what we know. We're the boss. We're the boss last year. We're the boss this year. The injuries don't matter because guess what, Base Jaron? The Lions, even with all the injuries, are still better than the Minnesota Vikings. They're better than the Minnesota Vikings. And a very simple breakdown is this. You have Sam Darnold. We have Jared Goff. We win. You lose. When someone asked me yesterday about the Bears breakdown, they have Caleb Williams. We have Jared Goff. This is a very simple league. He who has the better quarterback will probably win. The Lions have the best quarterback in this division. And I don't give a shit what anybody says about that. That is factual. The man is 4th in the league in touchdown passes, 2nd in yards again. So, Base Jaron, good luck with Sam Darnold. And I go back to it. If he's so sweet, cut the check. $200 million right now, cut the check. You ain't going to do it.
Do you know what
you know, deep down, you know.
Neil, do you know what I think is adorable? And I don't know if there are any kind of things like this. Maybe there's a St. Cloud State Sports or something, and there's a Neil Rule and a Sean Belegian holding up 2 fingers because they've been running 2 all year. But this is just a guess. I don't know. My guess is they're not being bombarded by Lions fans. Just a guess. And you guys, whether you want to admit it or not, is inconsequential. We've been living rent-free in your head for weeks. Mm-hmm. You all show up every day. You all creep into our Twitters, our Facebooks. You're all shooting me for things that Neil said. I mean, all that. I love every second of it. Like, you need to take just a second, step back and go, gosh damn it, he's right. He is right. What am I doing on the glorious soon-to-be national holiday of Christmas Eve? What am I doing in a Detroit sports chat? Like, that's ownership. You're owned right now. Like, you don't even know it. If you are in the chat right now, you're owned. Now, I can excuse it away if everything you said comes to fruition. If you guys knock off the Packers, you're not gonna. I'm just telling you right now. I'm getting yourself prepared, okay? But if you knock off the Packers and then you knock off the Lions, well, then by all means, invade. Talk about it. But right now, you're talking about fairy tales. It's kind of embarrassing just before Christmas, man. Go spend some time with your family. Jeez, dude. Come on, you're better than that.
Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there, get your thoughts out there. Aaron to the Stone said he wants an answer to the question, Sean, because he has to know who he's going to bet on. Chuck Brewer, Neil, how many wins does Minnesota have versus teams with winning records? I'm asking for a friend. I'll do the recap for you. I did this yesterday on the pregame show. They are on a 8-game winning streak. Those victories have come against the likes of the Jaguars, the Titans, the Bears twice, the Falcons, the Cardinals, all those at home, by the way. So, tell me more. We saw that. Guys, we saw this already when the Lions went in there. You know what? I'm going to the break. Vikings fan, I'm done with you right now.
I'll take Fresno, by the way. I'm taking Fresno in the points. It's 2.5, 3. I'll take Fresno in the points.
I agree with Sean.
All right, there you go. What do you got? Tell them about Mark White.
Yep, that would be UKG.
Mark White, I got you. Mark White, dreaming of a new home, but feeling the financial pinch. I know we all are, man, but it's okay. Mark White and Associates, they got your back, man. Trusted real estate experts that are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay for up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said 5 G's, 5 racks, 5 bands. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242. And Sean continues to miss the basket. Again, that is markwhitesales.com, or call the number 248-290-8242 to make your housing dreams come true.
The holidays are here. Don't know where to get your friends and family? Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted for the Lions Super Bowl run. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. So make sure it's a happy holiday for you and the sports lover in your life. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership near you in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule. And we have Sean Belesian in for D-Mac. Young Justin's in the building. We got KG. Chase is running around over there also. I'm live in Hawaii. Of course, Sean Belesian there in the Birmingham Woodward Sports compound. And we're just chopping it up, man. Talking Lions. They won again. Mark Royal in the chat. Minnesota has the greatest strength of schedule. The Lions are fifth. Wait a minute. I was told we had the same schedules, except that we get the Bills instead of the bum-ass Jets, and we got Tampa instead of the bum-ass Falcons. So how could that be the case? That's what I was told. So, whatever. Anyway, though, just keeping it pushing. And, Sean, just wanted to wrap this up, though. The Lions took apart the Bears yesterday, and it was just business as usual. Like, there wasn't a whole lot to analyze for me. It wasn't where, I'm looking at a performance other than maybe Jameson Williams, where he sets a new career high, and he shows once again. I did love the Twitter arc yesterday with the Jameson Williams haters because they, like Vikings fans, popped out just a split second too early because after he got the flag and Dan Campbell did the talking to, he rolls out and, hits an 82-yard touchdown pass from Jared Goff where he just flew past everybody on the field. And I do want to revisit this just for a couple minutes here, Sean, because the bottom line is this, and I'm starting to get worked up thinking about it right now. If you were a Jameson Williams hater, imagine being a Jameson Williams hater. You're stupid. You're flat out stupid. For the Sam Flannels of the world, and don't think that you can just
he
say,
gave that up, right?
Now.
Yeah, he gave it up.
I'm
Okay.
going to put on a jersey. Yeah, I'm going to put on a jersey and everything's okay. You don't believe your eyes. You people do not believe your eyes. I don't understand how somebody couldn't have looked at this man, watched him on the football field in college, then watched what he did in the pros and saw that this speed is generational. And saw that this man's speed, this is Tyreek Hill. And look, everybody does it. Even you guys that hate Jameson Williams. When the ball goes in his direction, you do this in your seat. Like you adjust yourself.
Yep.
And you have to, because something special is going to happen when he touches the football. It just does. About every 8 times he touches it, he ends up in the end zone, Sean. If you were a Jameson Williams hater, I'll say it right now, you're an idiot. And you should be banned from watching football forever.
It is so funny, Neil, about so I got a text from a buddy of mine yesterday, truly, after the penalty. And they said to me, is he worth it with all the drama? And I said, what drama? What drama? Those are correctable mistakes. Young man, get your emotions in check. Don't be a dummy. Really? And that's the conversation I'm sure that Dan Campbell probably had with him when he gave him a hug. Hey, we need you, baby. Don't be a dummy. Don't hurt this football team. Because we're going to call on you, and we're going to call on you real soon, and we need you to do what we know you can do. And by golly, he went and did what we all know he can do, and he went and showed us. But, Neil, when I hear drama, okay, I define drama something else. There are dumb mistakes. Those are correctable mistakes, okay? There are the criminal mistakes that, to me, that's where drama comes into the equation. Dude's emotional. Dude let his emotions get the best of him. It hurt the Lions. You had a conversation. We're cool. The next thing you know, dude's got a $143 in receiving yards. Okay, cool. I can take that. I'm cool. The minus 15, we're still plus 128, and he got in the end zone as well. So I'm kind of cool with those numbers.
Simple math, by the way. And by the way, and this is my point about Jameson Williams, when his touchdowns always seem to follow this pattern. He busted the game open. Mm-hmm. The Lions had kicked a couple of field goals, and it was 13-0, and you're like, well, they're kind of playing with their food a little bit. He busted that game open. That game was over after that happened. It was over. After he did that, it was 20-0 in the second quarter. The game was over. He closed down the club, Sean. He said, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That game was over. And again, this drives me, and I don't understand why it drives me so much, Sean, but it does. For people to want to let a narrative, for whatever reason it is, get in the way of what their eyes are showing them repeatedly. when you are in this league, when you make good players, great players look at, is this a fair statement, Sean? Jameson Williams makes good to great NFL players look average with the way he runs with the football in his hand. Is that fair?
There's no substitute for speed, man. I'm sorry, across the board in sports, there's no substitute for speed.
And if that's fair and you make the good look ordinary, what does that make you?
I think it makes you pretty good.
But Neil, we're tired.
I think that
we're tired of the JMO Act, Neil.
What act is that? Buck 40 touchdowns?
We're sick of the act.
The drama.
We're sick of his act, man.
KG.
I can't do it anymore. I can't take it anymore. You know he goes to Coney at midnight. I mean, how can you stand for that on your football team?
Like I've never been to Coney at midnight before in a previous life, all right? But anyway, KG, what define drama, KG?
Okay, a gambling suspension that the NFL themselves had to change their own rules on and thus cut a suspension short. Or maybe it's, he got caught with a gun that was registered in his name, and we heard about a substance, suspension that we still don't know to this day what the substance was. So I don't know. He seems to be a malcontent.
Okay.
Do you know what, Neil? Do you know what it is? Neil, you know what it is. In this day and age, do you know what has become all-powerful and all-encompassing? Seriously, I got to be right guy. I got to be right guy. Yeah, I got to be right guy is going to dig his heels in until the bitter end. We were talking about it with Jared Goff earlier, and I say it all the time. I was one of those guys. I saw Jared Goff in his last time at the Rams and the early portion of his time with the Lions, and I said, you guys are nuts. Look at him. Just watch him. It tells you everything you need to know. And then, by golly, when he wasn't that anymore, you know what? Instead of I got to be right guy, you know what I turned into? Wow, I guess I was wrong guy. Because this dude is going out and doing everything that he did early in his career and then some. But honest to goodness, the I gotta be right guy, that is so powerful in so many people. And that's why, KG, I'm glad to hear you say that about Flannel, because Flannel and I got into it at the beginning of the year. And I told him, I said, if you're looking at Jameson Williams and your idea of success is 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be right. Congratulations, you're right already. Yeah. He doesn't have to do that on this roster. And Neil, I gave the example of that unbelievable Red Wing team with all those Hall of Famers on that team. Brett Hull comes to town. He doesn't have to score 70 goals here. He doesn't have to. So, if you were one of those guys, oh, nice signing, Brett Hull. Look what you did this year. He doesn't have to be that guy here. And that's the same thing with Jameson Williams. That's the beautiful scenario that the Lions find themselves in. He doesn't have to go out there and be superhuman every week. You know what he has to do? He has to be superhuman when he's called upon. And you know what? He's doing a pretty good job at that.
But, Neil, there's no place for 15-yard penalties in this game.
No,
there's just not.
You can't do it.
No, but again, though, Sean, it goes back to this, and hey, I'm going to give everybody something here where if you look at it and you think about it, you know that I'm probably right. The 1,500-yard crowd that you speak of, the linear folk, the granular folk that are just going to look at numbers and dictate that's how they feel. Can I ask you this? Jameson Williams, because stats in sports are about usage. You get usage because you're good. That's how it works. That's the relationship. Do you think that if Jameson Williams got Justin Jefferson's targets, that he would put up Justin Jefferson's numbers?
Yes, I do. Yes.
That's unequivocal.
Yep.
You know how I know that? Because on 75 targets right now, he's got 900 yards. On 75 targets. You give him the 140 targets or whatever it is that Justin Jefferson's got, it's around that number. You give him that action, boss. You would get the exact same production. And I know this is going to push Vikings fans over the edge. And I know that you're in the chat right now. I know you are, but I'm right. I'm 100% right. Sports and stats are about usage. If your bottom line is stats, look at the usage. That's how it works. That's the secret, everybody. That's how this thing goes. Because for the Vikings and Justin Jefferson, he's got 1,400 yards on 135 targets. That's where it is. Jameson Williams, you give him those targets, you'll get that, if not more. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Look me in the eye and tell me that.
One's got 18.9 yards per. Another's got, what is Jefferson at? Like 15.8 or something like that. I can look it up and I can look it up and fact check myself. One's got 130.
I have it right here.
One's got 134 targets. Listen, and by the way, let me stop. Justin Jefferson is a better wide receiver. Period. I don't know. Neil's not saying that. Nobody in this room is saying that. Okay, but you're in the neighborhood, aren't you? If I prorate those numbers, I prorate the targets, I prorate the looks coming his way, you're at least in the neighborhood, aren't you? Then all of a sudden you're starting to have the conversation, and that is what suffices the stat nerds out there. You know, all of a sudden, you know, if you're going to live and die by stats, well, then let's live and die by stats. Let's prorate this. Let's take a look and see what the numbers find out, Justin.
Yeah, the numbers are...
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I have the numbers right here for Sean, and Justin Jefferson has 134 targets to Jameson Williams 75, and Jameson Williams has 47 receptions and 890 yards, and Justin Jefferson has 92 receptions for 1,387 yards.
Oh.
So look, the math is mathing on your take.
And that's going to fire people up like a tour in the chat. JMO's still playing like a rookie who needs more time in the playbook and a tutor. Here's my favorite sentence of it. If his natural ability and Goff's arm were not in play, he'd have issues. But a tour, his natural ability is in play. That's why he was a first-round draft pick. That's why Brad Holmes traded up to get him a tour.
Hey, Neil,
what's wrong with you, a tour? We just gave you the math, a tour. Is it not working out for you, a tour? His ability is in play. That's why he's here.
Hey, Neil, it's even more. A tour got more for you. That's not close to true, not even close. JMO's production is based on 22 yards per catch. He'll never get JJ's targets until he learns to play like JJ. JMO's not even a mind. Come on, let's not glaze.
I'm done, Sean. That's it. Okay, can we move on?
You know, the good thing is we don't have to use him like JJ. That's the good thing. That's the really good thing about it. And if you again, this is where you call out the hypocrisy of others. If you're going to spit stats out of here, and then you're going to get mad at people spitting stats out of there and prorating stats, I win.
Number one. Why does this make me laugh so much?
It's Larry Bird. You know that. Yeah, that's why. Like when I
number one. All right.
The 1 out of 500 shots I take against KG, if I hit it, I turn into Larry Bird. Like I knew it the whole time.
He's not hitting it though. That's the problem.
I never. 1 out of 500.
If you were to double Jameson Williams' stats, he would have 150 receptions for 94 catches and 1,780 yards.
Oh shit! Wow.
Guys, everyone falls for this. Everyone falls for this.
It's so weird.
It's usage. That's like the Cade Cunningham turnover people. His turnovers are close to on par with all the stars in the league. Why? Because he has the ball in his hand all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason they have the ball in their hand all the time is because they're the best players on the team. Does it check out? I'm sorry, Sean. I just ripped apart the whole sports world for everybody. I just destroyed our living. I apologize, Sean.
Can I follow up with one more thing? What was it? A tour?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
A tour. I know I shouldn't be doing this because I make it a habit to avoid stuff like this. But can you give me a definition of playing like a rookie? I would love to hear what is your definition, because you brought it up twice now. Those are your words, right? I don't want to speak out of turn. Correct me if I'm wrong, KG. He said twice he's playing like a rookie. Can you define playing like a rookie for me, please?
He said he needs to play like JJ.
Okay. Cool. Best
Yes.
of luck.
Yes. On his usage, he is.
Okay.
All right, we got to go around the NFL, Sean. We got to go around the NFL, and someone suggested a 5-5-5 segment. 5 minutes Red Wings, 5 minutes Tigers, 5 minutes Pistons. The bill is due. We have to talk about it, and we are. We're going to go around the NFL though when we come back. My bad here on this one. Let me see here. Got the
tell us about
got the break.
KDK.
Where are we going with this one, Justin?
Oh, KDK. KDK Law. Listen, man. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law. They got you back, man. I know Papoose wish he had KDK right now, man. You should have just went ahead and got that done, man. But listen, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham, they got you back. 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code. Yeah, Sean need to call KDK for these jumpers, man, because they just not working. They are broke. But scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Les Stanford Chevrolet. And listen, man, y'all overdue for a new car. It's Christmas, it's New Year's. You want to get in something fresh and something right, man. So beat the holiday rush and get amazing deals from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV2 LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month. Or check out the Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month. Ask Neil Rule about the EV, man. That snowflake knows what he's doing, man. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out their massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Thank you for that, Casey.
I got you.
You should have saw his face when you said it.
I got you, Neil.
Woodward Sports Network. Sean Belizian in for Darren McCarty. I'm Neil Rule. I'm on location here in Hawaii. Golden Grizzlies, Oregon State tonight on ESPN2. By the way, look, it's not like you're gonna watch Saints Packers. Okay, let's be real. You'll watch it for a minute.
Yeah,
ESPN2. Golden Grizzlies, Oregon State. By the way, Diamond Head Classic. I tapped into that. KG is in the building. Young Justin. Chase is around as well. All of you are around in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Get into there. Like James Feldman, JMO doubters are flat earthers. I love flat earthers, and that's exactly right.
I don't get it.
That's what you are. You are a flat earther. If you're not in on James, I don't get it.
It's
Scabs,
really weird.
Scabs, quote, if JMO wasn't JMO, then he wouldn't be so good, unquote. Idiot.
Neil, this is like a really weird phenomenon, and it's not just the Viking fans who, again, I need to remind you guys how much space the Lions are taking up in your head. It's not healthy. I've been there. It is really not healthy. I mean, years later, I'm still saying fuck the Bears, and the Bears haven't been relevant in years. So it's not healthy. Stop now while you still have a chance. But a lot of people in our fan base, the JMO slander, dude, I'm lost at it. I don't get it. I really, truly don't get it.
Woodward Sports chat thread, get into there, and a tour's good. The people are going. Even Ryan Lentz is worked up about a tour, and it's fine. You know, like, hey, that's it. A tour. Neil Rule. NFL teams are no longer scheming passing touchdowns They're going to field goals, LMAO. That was your hot take. What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, because that's me. Kick the field goal, right? You know I'm all about the field goal, Sean. Never kick. That's Bears shit. Bears kick field goals to make three-score games.
Neil, you know the routine because I got besieged by a couple of them, and I always say the same thing. You know when it's time for me to pull the chute? When you flat out make shit up. So guess what? Now the chute is pulled, and now I know never to pay any attention from you again at Tour. When you make shit like that up, I have sat with Neil 500 times and heard him rant about don't go for the threes. Sevens win touchdown games. So it was fun. We had a good run at Tour. We did. We had a good run. I thought that there was a little respect there, but now I pull the chute, and I'm just not paying attention to you anymore.
I'm trying to shoot him a little bit. He normally a little better than this. I actually rock with the Tour in the chat, but this ain't his best work.
All right, Dev in the chat. Neil, what bourbon we breaking out Christmas Eve? Just got some Old Forester 1920 to drink with Santa.
Got one of those.
1920s. I'm lean more towards the 1910 myself, but again, I'm soft. You know, I'm not weathered. 1920 runs a little hot. I'm talent, so I'm very, I'm very prissy. So I need it to be a little sweeter. So I typically roll with the 1910. Should we? Burn in the chat, by the way, jumped in that super chat. You can jump to the front of the line. Burn. Vikings have been lucky this season. I'm feeling a Gary Anderson moment is due. Burn, so do I. I feel that the fall is going to be great with the Vikings. Sean, there's just something that's setting up for one of their classic falls, and I can't wait for it.
Now, I got to say this, Neil. I called this out a couple weeks ago. I can't stand when I hear people say a 13-2 team is lucky. I can't stand when I hear the people say the Kansas City Chiefs are lucky. I think you are what your record indicates. I'm a firm believer in that. But here's the caveat.
No, that's fair.
Do I think for a second the Minnesota Vikings are a threat to anybody? Absolutely, positively fucking not. And to all the Viking fans watching, remember I said that. Okay? You keep this clip, time it, bookmark it, whatever you kids do. I don't think you're a threat to win dick. Okay? Congratulations, you're having a wonderful year. I can't take away from that. Okay? I'm serious. But you know deep down inside, as well as we do, you aren't going to do even what the Lions did last year. You're not winning 2 playoff games. I don't think you're going to win 1. But you're not winning 2. No way in Hades. But hey, you're 13-2. Congratulations for that.
That's right. Hey, and young Justin, let the fans watch, right? Let the fans watch the Woodward Sports Watch Party. That's right. Live during the games. You can tap in. It's live at Hayes Social. Venmo, easy. That's typically the squad. You can let the fans watch. Thousands of you tap in to the Woodward Sports Watch Party because nobody is doing football days better than Woodward Sports. The Watch Party. Don't forget about the post-game show brought to you by New Holland Brewing Company with Stick and Anson. That's immediately following the game. But hey, social man, they got you covered. More importantly, Woodward Sports has you covered. Nobody does football like Woodward Sports.
The holidays are here. Don't know where to get your friends and family? Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted for the Lions Super Bowl run. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. So make sure it's a happy holiday for you or the sports lover in your life. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward Sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Attention Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has got you covered. I'm talking about that good green, that gas, the stickiest of the icky. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big, big way. 9 locations are right here in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, don't worry, they got the green for you too, man. New stores are coming your way soon. It is Jars Cannabis. And after you get, your good product from Jars Cannabis, you're going to get a little hungry, man. That tends to happen after you take a visit there. So how about you get Soroki's, man? Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a limited time offer continuing throughout the football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings all football season long. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors, and you can get those by going to Sorokis.com.
All right, everybody, we're coming down the stretch here on a Monday. Hard to believe, but here we are. Neil Rule, Sean, Belizean, KG. We got young Justin in for Spencer Raxter. Chase is there in the building as well. And Sean, I promised this. I'm gonna move past the NFL, looking around the NFL, because I do want to address this with you because I have you here. Real quick, I'm going to address the Tigers, and I want your thoughts on it as well. Walker Buehler signed with the Red Sox. All right? So here we sit right now, where we're going to look at running it back with Scooble. Job is going to take Flaherty's spot, and that's what it is with the pitching, right? There's still no shortstop. There's still no third baseman. So we're going to run it back. We're just going to run it back, right? And I'm going to pull it back a little bit because it's not done yet. I've been looking at Twitter, my Al Avila text thread that I talked to you about. It's a couple of my buddies that work here at Oakland as well. We were texting around. Rob Bradford tweeted out, Alex Bregman continues to be a target, with Detroit seemingly representing the club most aggressively, trying to sign the infielder. Okay, Sean, I'm going to let it ride. If they run this back, that's malfeasance, and I'm going to explode, Sean. Just so you know, just so everyone can be prepared for it. If they just run this back and don't do anything coming off a division title, Sean, we're going to have problems.
Neil, why would anybody be surprised? Like, honestly, to me, the impetus was clearly on, will Christopher Ilitch open up the checkbook? And how many times did we talk about it? I have no reason to believe that he will. And I said it 1,000 times. Really, I have no reason to, neither do you, okay? And let's face it, what was so magical about last year, can we say this? It was so out of the blue. It was not sustainable. So now what you're telling me is you want to go a full $1.62 operating like you did in the last month and a half next year.
But Neil, we got
Good
Alex
luck
Cobb.
with that.
We got Alex Cobb, man. We're going to be all right. We got Javi
okay.
with a new hip.
Yep, everything's okay. It's
I
not
forgot.
sustainable.
I forgot, Sean. I forgot about NHJ.
Yes.
New Hip Javi.
Yeah, man.
I forgot about that. So, okay.
New hip
Never
who
mind.
this?
We're good here. Never mind. I'm not there yet because things are still playing out, but I don't like which way I'm starting to trend here. That's it. That's all. I just wanted to bring it up. Real quick in the chat, Chuck Ken. Can we get real about the injuries, how they will affect the playoffs, how our anemic secondary is as of late? Serious stuff to fix, man.
Anemic?
Not worried about the offense. Chuck. Chicago scored 3 points in the second half, having to throw the ball all around the yard, Chuck. That's what happened.
17 for the game.
That's what happened, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck, come on, bro. Stay with us here. 3 points in the second half. And, hey, it's the generational Caleb Williams at quarterback, Chuck. How can you argue with that?
Chuck, all I'll keep saying, I know you're asking for real talk, but at least I've been consistent about this for the past week. You know what? Lock up that number one. You get a week off. You get another week off. And all of a sudden we're talking about maybe getting some of those bodies back. And that's then we can have the real talk conversation. If we're still having this conversation on January 19th, okay, then I'm a little concerned at that point in time, okay? But having that last game of the year against Minnesota mean nothing would be awesome, and it's no guarantee. You know it better than anybody, Viking fan. Thanks for tapping in, by the way. Really, I appreciate you all. But you know it better than anybody. It is not a given that you knock off the Packers. If that last game means nothing, Neil, you can rest some bodies. You get an extra week of rest and recoup and load management during the bye week. And then we're having this conversation January 19th. Let's see where things rest January 19th. Oh, by the way, almost a month from now.
All right, Sean, here it is. You're here right now. And I want to lay this out there. I am not fire coach guy. I am not make a move for the sake of making a move. I am not that guy. I'm just not.
Today you
However, Sean.
Say it.
However, Sean, the Red Wings right now are 8 points out of the second wild card spot and would have to pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams to get there. Sean, on this day, today, it's over. The Red Wing season is over right now. They're 8 points back. What leads you to believe that they could play a stretch of hockey, not only to make up an 8-point gap against a team, they would have to pass 7 teams. And Sean, this is where your terminology that you invented, simple math, comes into play. How often, when you're chasing 8 teams, how often do they play each other in front of you? Fairly often, right? You're chasing 8 teams. So with that being said, what makes you think that they have the capabilities of ripping off 12 or 15 and getting back in this thing? I don't.
Neil, I think Justin asked us in the nickel package on Friday what we thought the chances were of the Wings getting in the playoffs. And both Spenny and I said 0. And that was before the disastrous weekend against Montreal. I'm with you. I am not. I think Coach Lalonde is but a small part of the issues here. He's a problem, but he's but a small part of the issues. I'm going to look beyond that, though. When I watch a team play as listless and poorly as they did on Saturday, when I watch a coach literally like fledgling, I'll put these guys together. Trying to find a spark. How many times have we used that terminology in the past month? Trying to find a spark. They should have left Sebastian here. That was a spark. Oh, the lack of spark on the PK. I said it in a text to you on Saturday, and Justin, I think you were part of that text as well. I thought that Saturday was a fireable offense. To go into Montreal and look that poorly and quite frankly that clueless, I thought that was a fireable offense. I mean that with everything else going on, not that just by itself, but when you're making the case and you go, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, here is Exhibit K. Watch this game. That was ugly with a capital U on Saturday night.
And it's to the point now, Sean, where it's pound of flesh time, where it's gone bad to the point where there's got to be something. And I'm not transaction guy for the sake of transactions either. I'm just not. But we are to the point where the masses have to have something. A domino has to fall. Someone has to be held accountable, Sean. It just is. And look, do I still believe in Steve Yzerman? Yeah, I'm not going to do the 180 and go against everything that I've been talking about. There has been linear progression every single year that he's been the GM. For the linear crowd and the granular crowd out there, it's constantly been up. It's a green arrow the whole time. This is the first step back. Okay, so what do we do now? This is the first adversity from a development standpoint that this rebuild has encountered. There has to be retribution for it. There has to be. Somebody has to pay.
Well, and I know I'm not insinuating that somebody's saying this in the chat right now, but how many times have you heard somebody say, "Oh, look at teams get right after Christmas. Remember what the Kings did. Remember what the Blues did. Remember what this team, what that." Neil, I'll go back to what you said right at the beginning, and I'll throw in one of my favorite terms. Based on what exactly would you think that this team is going to get this turned around? Give me one area where this area on the club is going to grab the team by the scruff of their neck and say, "No, we are not letting the season go down this way. Here, come with me." Their forwards, that defense core, your goaltending. Are they gonna carry you the next few months? You are basing it on absolutely nothing right now. This is Neil. I think when all is said and done, we're gonna have that conversation where you're correct right now. That arrow's been up, but this arrow's going backwards this year, and I think we all better just get used to it.
No, somebody needs to pay for it. Somebody absolutely needs to pay for it. Hey, one thing you don't have to pay a lot for, though, somebody's going to pay for the Red Wings, but if you want to work out, and look, the new year is here, everybody. It is here. So if you've been saying you're going to do it, now's the time. Planet Fitness, everybody. Over 50 locations in Metro Detroit. They're all around the world. Planet Fitness is the move. I'm telling you guys this. As somebody who's been a Black Card member for over 3 years, I'll never be a member at another gym. Why? It's convenient. Why? The facilities are clean. Why? The weights weigh the same at some of those gyms that people are paying $90 a month for. I'll never understand it. You don't have to do that. Get that New Year's resolution rolling, everybody. Go to planetfitness.com. Hey, new year, new you, everybody. Planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports.
Attention, good people of Woodward Sports. Don't miss out on expert injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call the number 248-426-9944.
All right, final segment of the show here on a Victory Monday. Neil Rule, Sean Belesian, KG, Young Justin, Chase in the building as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, thanks for jumping in, getting your thoughts out there as a matter of fact. Justin, maybe the Red Wings went out flat because they heard you guys had no faith in them, saying they had a 0% chance of making the playoffs. Justin, if they're sitting around saying, oh, Woodward Sports says we can't do it, we're cooked, everybody. Whatever happens, happens. Let's go. Justin, come on, bro. Come on. I mean, come on.
I would say that they do have, like, according to the analytics, 2% chance to make the playoffs, and they might as well just be zero. This team's not doing anything. Please start acting like the Detroit Red Wings and not the Anaheim Ducks and be a serious organization, please.
Answer 14 might need to tear it down to the studs and maybe put Stevie in a different position in the organization. All right, everybody calm down for a second.
That's a little too far.
He has improved the talent. You can't deny that. How do I know that? Because there's been linear progression. I'm saying it like this, guys. Sean, help me if I'm not doing this correctly. There has to be a pound of flesh for a step back. That's the best way I can put it. Is that fair? Someone's got to pay.
I think that's fair, but honestly, I'm a huge eye test guy. The eye test is piss poor. It is. How many times have we? They're a chore to watch, man. There's nothing compelling about them. And this is not New Jersey Devils chore to watch. Oh, by the way, it's a chore watching a Stanley Cup parade. No, this is chore to watch, and you're bad. Like that. That's the issue right now.
Pistons had a nice win in Phoenix. They're 12-17. As it sits right now, if the playoffs started today, we're more than a third of the way into the season. The Pistons are in the play-in game. They're sitting on the 10 slot right now, as a matter of fact. You guys might not know that in the chat because you always tell me you don't watch, but I know you do. I know you do. Deep down, you do. But Sean, that's a huge win, a victory over Kevin Durant. Cade Cunningham was the one that did it again, and they're in the play-in game right now, Sean. If it started today, they are in the play-in game. And Sean, like, what can you say, man? They've taken a step.
Neil, I need continuity because you were out the other day. I tapped in that game against Utah. You give up 48 points in the first quarter to a 5-win team. That's when all the people that say they aren't in really aren't in because they all go like that with their clicker. Give me a little continuity so I can continue to build up that hype and that excitement and everything. But how many times have we seen it with this Pistons team? It's like a step forward, a step back, a step forward, 2 steps back. That's it. Just give me a little continuity, and I think people will buy in mass in this team. I really do.
I started the campaign. Mark Spears from ESPN is actually here in Hawaii, and he's covering the tournament.
What up, dope?
And we were across. Yep, we were across the street.
About 7 out of 10.
All right, thank you.
What's that?
My what up, dope?
Oh, what?
Yeah, we working on it. He ain't putting so much emphasis on the dough, so that's a start.
What up, dope?
All right, we're trying. It is a work in progress. But I did start the campaign. I did start the campaign with Mark, though. I told him, I said, Cade's an all-star.
Yeah.
And I think the national media is still kind of locked in. And when I told him, I'm like, he's better than Trae Young. He's better than Tyrese Halliburton. I think everybody, and even here, too, they're going to be locked into that Tyrese Halliburton thing. They are. He's better, everybody. Cade's better. So just keep your eye on it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Sean, we did it, man. That show flies by, as it always does. I will be back. I'm angling to be back in studio on Friday. That's still up in the air. We'll see. But, Sean, obviously, you're going to be out, right?
Yeah, I'll see you the 3rd, buddy. So Merry Christmas to you and the fam. Happy New Year and all that to everybody out there, really.
Absolutely. So, again, we'll be back at you. I'll be back next week. Sean will be back into the new year as well. So, hey, we're still here, though, everybody. We're still rocking and rolling. For Sean Belizian, for KG, for Young Justin, for Chase, we're number one. Woodward Sports Network, we're number one. We're number one. Well, see you later.